Hello, once again, I'm your host, Doc Rodden, and this is Gruesome Guide to Horror Movies for June 2021. Back with me again are the scariest, goriest, bloodiest co-hosts on the net, and that means podcasting rock star and international cosplay queen, Vanessa. Vanessa, how you doing?
I am doing great. Can you tell these are my favorite episodes? I love the guides.
Yes, I'm. This is fun. We started doing this like in 2020, but 2020 we're on steam.
Completely.
Like we got the March and it went, and
Yep.
yeah. So we started back up this year as the things started coming back. We a lot of streaming stuff, but now we're into June and theaters are starting to open up. And I think as we're recording this, Quiet Place is tearing up the box office, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And we have theatrical films, we've got VOD films, and we've got streaming films. We've got a selection for you. 8 selections. We've picked 8 of a couple dozen films that are in a variety of ways coming out on theaters. Like I said, theaters, TV, streaming. You got it. So I think we should just dive into it, right? Let's just do that. With the first one, and the first one is Spare Parts. All right, Spare Parts is also in the background if you're wondering what all those colors were. And this is from Raven Banner Entertainment. It's available June 1st from Andrew Thomas Hunt. This is interesting. It's a Canadian film. The synopsis goes, while traveling on their first American tour, Miss 45, an all-girl punk band, is drugged and kidnapped. They awaken to find their limbs removed and replaced with crude weaponry and are forced to fight as gladiators for a sadistic town. Oh, Vanessa, what did you think of this one?
Oh my God, I loved this one. This is like that great B movie kind of horror that we like, that we talk about a lot. I mean, and what's cool about it is from the trailer, it doesn't seem like it focuses too much on the torture part because it wants to get to the action part, to these badass chicks with chainsaws on their arms and like all kinds of strange interchangeable weapons. Like, I loved it. I thought it was so cool. I love that they do it from a female rock band. And they're going to be like the badass chicks in the movie. And yeah, this one looks like a lot of fun. Good summer movie, right?
Yeah. I can't wait to review this. We're going to be reviewing on Gruesome Magazine streaming podcast. One of the Emperor is played by Julian Richings, who is a character actor that you will recognize when you see him, and he has some great lines in the trailer. So check out the link down below. All right, should we move on to the second one? This is the one I think most people know about, and that is The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. Now, I love the Conjuring films. I love the Conjuring films so much. The second Conjuring film, for me, is actually one of my favorite films of all time. I absolutely love that one. The first one is up there as well. Of course, this is in theaters and HBO Max at the same time on June 4th of 2021, directed by Michael Chaves. Is that right? Chaves? Sure. Which is taking over for James Wan, which has got a lot of people a little nervous, but the early reviews are saying good things. This is this could be another theatrical fun time, and of course, if you're not ready to go back to the theaters, it will be on HBO Max. Vanessa, what about you? What do you think of this one?
Oh, I'm very excited. I'm a huge Conjuring family fan. I absolutely adored the first one. I think the first one's a little bit higher than the second one for me, just because it was the first one. But I love them. I love this pair. They are perfect as the Warrens. Perfect.
Yes,
Absolutely perfect. And you can get a series like this, and the further you get, sometimes you feel like the actors are just phoning it in at a certain point, or they're just hamming it up. And they've taken this property so seriously, and I think that's what's made it so good the whole way through. So I really, really cannot wait for this one.
Yeah, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are horrors couple of the century. They make a great pair. You feel the chemistry between them, and they draw you into this world. And even when they show up in the latest Annabelle film, it elevates that too. So yeah, I'm dying to see this, and it's based on one of their famous cases where they went into kind of not represent, but they went into kind of support this. Support's not the right word either, but
maybe the council.
A council. There you go. Let's go with that. A case where the defendant says the devil made him do it, and expands on that. So it'd be really interesting to see. Of course, it's not going to be like the real story at all. It's going to be cinematic, but I don't care. I love it. Some people get hung up on that, and I don't think you should. You should just relax. It's a movie.
It's a movie. It's not a documentary. It's a movie.
All right. Up next, we talk about streaming, and Netflix is always killing it, leading the way. Even though other streaming are catching up fast, it still is leading the way. And it's got an interesting film called Awake coming out. This is not a very high profile one, but one I think many viewers and listeners will find of interest when a global event wipes out electronics and eliminates people's ability to sleep, which puts, a twist on that apocalyptic kind of film. And the people you see on the mother and daughter you see on the poster, the daughter is like one of the few people that can actually sleep, and that puts her not only as a very important person but also as one of high risk. And this movie looks fantastic. I'm dying to see it. It's on Netflix. What about you, Vanessa? What do you think of this one?
Can I be the opposite?
No.
No, it looks like a good movie, but it doesn't look like my kind of movie. Honestly, to me, it looked a little bit boring.
It could be.
That kind of disaster survival thing, you got to do it right. Kind of like A Quiet Place too, like we're talking about right now. Yeah. I just didn't get a lot of the kinetic energy from this one, but maybe I need another trailer. Something.
Maybe. I don't know for a good one. They usually don't do that, but Jennifer Jason Leigh is in it as a supporting role as a doctor, and that would be fun. All right, let's move on to the next one then. And we all love a good horror comedy, and this one is coming from the independent world, but it's supposed to be in theaters. We'll see. I hope so, because this one has tickled my funny bone with the trailer alone, and that is The House Next Door, subtitled Meet the Blacks 2. Oh my gosh, it's coming June 11th from director Deon Taylor. Michael Epps, Cat Williams, Brescia Webb, and if you look at there's a whole gaggle of other people in it as well. I don't know if you checked that out.
Snoop Dogg is
one. Yeah, I mean, can you? This was Snoop Dogg, Danny Trejo, of course.
Yeah.
Rick Ross and others. It is definitely a comedy, but it's got vampires, and I'm sold. I am just immediately sold. What about you? Is this one tickling your funny bone as well?
Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes. Throws it back to those 90s horror comedies that we see a lot of in this kind of vein. I was dying watching the trailer. And a little nerd fact for you here. When Rick Ross rolls up in that hearse, that is the same model hearse as the Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters.
No.
Yes, and I guarantee
you would know that.
I would know, and I guarantee you that wasn't an accident. So I'm so hyped for this one. This another great kind of summer fun movie to watch.
It's got some very witty dialogue in the trailer, especially coming from Cat Williams, who I don't know much about, but it's hilarious in this trailer. I can't wait to see this one. I hope I get to. It will be fun. All right. Up next is a UK film called Censor. Now, if you want to get talk about what might be one of the more disturbing films of this month, this one coming June 11th from Magnet Releasing is directed by Prano Bailey Bond, and it looks twisted. It looks absolutely twisted, and it's after viewing a strangely familiar video nasty ended. A film censor sets out to solve the past mystery of her sister's disappearance, embarking on a quest that dissolves the line between fiction and reality. And that, the more that line blurs, the creepier it gets. The closer to that axe you see in the poster you get. What did you think of this? Did this intrigue you or confuse you?
Both. It's a little twist, a little twist on 8mm, right? A little. That's horror as it is in itself. This is more of a real horror kind of twist. I love, you got a lot of movies coming out right now that are leaning into that kind of Argento kind of vein, leaning into something we saw more in the 70s. And I really, really, really like it because you get more of this artistic interpretation of horror. That can be so fun and interesting and just twist your mind around. And I like that. I like that kind of stuff a lot. We need our next Edward Finch, right?
Yes.
We need another one.
Yes. So I'm excited to be doing this on H&R later in the month. This is going to be a fun one. All right. We've done a couple of Russian films in the past year on Gruesome Magazine, and Shudder has a new one coming up. Shudder is also a weekly, every Thursday they bring out new films. We spotlight a lot of them, but this month we are doing Super Deep. Now the Super Deep, it's basically it's about a tunnel and a research team in the film that is heading down into it to find out what the secret is, the Super Deep. And this, I am so fascinated with this, and I love that we're able to catch Russian films, a lot of foreign films, but especially some of the Russian films that have been really well done. They have upped their game in the past decade or so with their films, and this one looks as incredible as all the others we've watched. What do you think? Did this one catch your attention?
I love a good monster movie. And when you start digging down into the earth, you get where humans shouldn't be. You can come up with anything down there. So yeah, I like that. I like the suspense of it. I think it's going to be fun.
No light, no salvation. All right. But if you aren't watching Shudder, you should be. And we review most of the Shudder films over on Gruesome Magazine, so check that out. The next one. Okay. My favorite monster is werewolves. And the next one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Werewolves Within. That's a hilarious poster, by the way.
I know.
There is another poster, but I cannot resist this poster. All right. It's from IFC. It's directed by Josh Rubin, the guy behind Scare Me, which came out last year and is coming June 25th. We'll be recording a review for this one on H&R, and it's actually based on a game which I know absolutely nothing about, but the cast on this looks spectacular, and it is about werewolves. And I don't know, does it actually have werewolves in it? I kind of feel like it does, but I kind of feel like it's the mystery of when they're actually going to show up, right? But okay, enough about me. What about you, Vanessa? What did you think of this one?
Oh, I'm very excited about this one too. This month just has some great ones lined up. Again, it just looks like so much fun. It says a whodunit with teeth. And I just love that. And I too am a huge werewolf fan. Like Werewolves of London, or Werewolves of London.
That's a song, but
that's the song, yes. But the movie with a similar title is one of my favorite movies ever. It's just. I'm thinking back to other werewolf movies from the 80s and 90s too. No, they're great. And this is just, I love a horror comedy. Who doesn't love a good horror comedy, right? Especially a British one. Yes, we've gotten some good ones of those, like Anna and the Apocalypse. Yeah, I am super, super excited about this one.
Yeah, and this one has a really interesting cast. Cheyenne Jackson is in it, and Harvey Gillian, who is from What We See in the Shadows TV show. He plays Guillermo, right?
He does.
And of course, it also has as Christopher put it, the lady from what, AT&T? No, I don't know what she's from. What is she from?
Is she AT&T? I think she might be the AT&T, right?
She might be. You know, I'm
totally, the cute one who sells cell phones.
Milana Ventrub. Yeah, and oh yeah, you always look at her and go, is she an actress? Is she an actress? Yes, she's an actress. She's in this film, and it looks fantabulous. And of course, Sam Richardson is the lead, and it I don't know. As soon as they make the joke about the tree, I'm totally in. Just the reaction to it. It just it's like, put this under your Kwanzaa tree. That's no such thing. This is the deadpan way. And there's a new trailer that came out this week, and it amps up the comedy of it. Again, you know, we talked earlier. We love horror comedies. Any last words about this one? You might sense my excitement for it.
I'm just thinking of Werewolves of London lyrics now. That's all I can think of. I look at you and I think his hair was perfect.
Oh, no. All right. Next is The Evil Next Door. Now, this is from Sweden. And this has scary kids in a scary house. You may look at this and see that maybe it feels kind of like, you know, the standard haunted house movie, and maybe it is, but it caught my attention. I'm excited to see this because it actually had some startling images in the trailer, especially toward the end, and it's from Sweden, so I'm interested to see their take on, you know, a haunted house film and a ghost story. So I am sold. What about you?
Well, one, always interested to see an international film. Especially if it's Swedish or Norwegian. They do some creepy horror.
Yes, Norway films.
Yeah, seriously. Two, if your kid tells you he has an imaginary friend, get the fuck out. Bye. Because it's not going to end well.
Yes. It's no longer Cat in a Hat anymore at all. Ever is. It's something far more dastardly.
Not the one you want. Yeah.
But I'm excited about this. I'm excited about all these. We'll go through them real quick. Of course, it starts off with Spare Parts, and then The Conjuring. The devil made me do it. No, we don't have flashback, but we were going to talk about that. Awake, The House Next Door.
Yes.
Censor, The Super Deep. Werewolves Within. And the Evil. The Evil.
The Evil Next Door.
The Evil Next Door. It lost us D. No, The Evil Next Door. And you know what? We talked about at the beginning that this was. I talk too much because I can't say The Evil Next Door anymore. But we talked about other films, and here's just a short list of the other films. The 10 more. There's your flashback. Amusement Park, Caveat, Unquiet Grave, and Vicious Fun are all going to be on Shudder. The rest of them are going to be streaming, and Flashback is going to be in the theaters. It's incredible. It's incredible that we are getting so much content. Check those out. Check them out. Look at that. That's insane, and that's not all of them. There's more. I
can't believe it.
Didn't have room. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you enjoyed our look at 8 films coming in June of 2021 that you should be looking out for. These are handpicked by the pair of us. Obviously, you can find the ones that I pick or the ones that she doesn't like. And she likes more of the one. But it's all thing. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, thank you for hanging out with us. If you want to help us out, you can just hit the subscribe button or share with a friend. Make sure you hit the like button and let us know which one you are most looking forward to. Or if you've seen them, let us know what you think of them.
Oh, which one's yours? Which one's yours?
Which one's mine? Werewolves Within is close, but I'm a huge Conjuring fan. Yeah. So it is definitely The Conjuring.
Yeah, number 1 for me too.
Yeah. Oh man. So this is going to be a great month, and July looks to be even bigger. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Oh my. All right, Vanessa, thank you for joining me.
Always a pleasure.
Let's say goodnight.
Good night.